Michael McNamara, and I understand you're sharing time with Deputy O'Mahony, is that correct?
Yes, I believe we're speaking for 5 minutes each. So
is that agreed? That's great, okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on this very important motion for the constituency which I represent, Clare. I understand that the opposition spokesperson, who also comes from the constituency which we represent together, Deputy Dooley, has outlined his opposition to this measure. I don't wish to unfairly characterise what he's saying. I understand that his opposition is twofold. Firstly, that the plan is overly ambitious, and secondly, that ARI is remaining with the Dublin Airport Authority. I see Deputy Dooley assenting to that characterisation of his opposition. Sorry? The second part, ARI, not the first. Well, firstly, let me deal with the issue that any criticism that the plan might be too ambitious, and it has been criticised as being ambitious. I make no apologies for the fact that the plan is ambitious. I recognise that there is a risk. There's always a risk when you try to do something. I think it was that Abraham Lincoln said, when you try, there's always the danger that you will fail. If you don't try, there's an absolute certainty that you will fail. I am very much heartened by the fact that this government has an ambitious plan for Shannon, a plan which is seemingly successful to date, and one that I very much hope will be successful into the future. Deputy Dooley, no more than I, will know that there isn't unanimity in any party on any issue, be it a budget or be it the separation of Shannon Airport Authority. He will also know that the Mayor of Clare, a decent man, very recently said that any airport, speaking about the planned separation, said that any airport that relies on a single airline for a large proportion of traffic leaves itself open to a collapse of business if that operator pulls out. We have seen this happen at Shannon in the past, but I believe that recent service announcements at Delta, Aer Lingus and the United Airlines herald a new beginning at the airport. Well, I thank the Mayor of Clare for putting his constituency and the future of Shannon above narrow party interest. I would also thank the Mayor. I would also thank the Mayor of Ennis. I would also thank the Mayor of Ennis for doing likewise when he urged everyone to get behind plans for the independent Shannon Airport, saying it's critical for the local economy and employment in the town. Turning now to ARI. I wish to quote from a recent article by Mr. Liam Skelly, a former director of Shannon Airport, and indeed a man who lives in the same parish as myself, who knows Shannon intimately. Speaking about the debate which took place on the State Airports Act, which was a very long time ago now, as Deputy Dooley, he was Senator Dooley at the time, will recall, Mr. Skelly said, the solution proposed and to be voted on was as follows. Dublin Airport to get immediate autonomy with enhanced status. Shannon and Cork airports were to have a kind of satellite status. The Area and the International Division of Shannon to be gifted to Dublin Airport, now called the DAA, the accumulated profits of 2004 amounting to €104 million to be included. Dublin Airport Authority to be gifted the deeds of the Great Southern Hotels, Dublin Airport Authority to be gifted ARI investments in Birmingham and Hamburg, both to be sold a few years later for €355 million. Any reasonable person trying to analyse what was happening could only come to the conclusion that the real agenda being pursued was geared to the enhancement of Dublin Airport. Shannon and Cork were a small sideshow in the whole affair. Well and good if either of them had anything to value, it would be taken from them. The treatment meted out to Shannon through the State Airports Act was nothing short of appalling, Mr. Skelly wrote. The Act, he was, and you voted for it, Timmy, and it happened on your watch. On your watch. But the reality is,
today you were voting in it.
The reality is,
Deputy Dooley, resume your seat, please. I'll take a point of order. No,
I'm
resume your seat, please. I ask you to resume your seat. And I ask you, Deputy, no, it's not, unfortunately, Deputy. You've had your 15 minutes. Thank you.
Deputy.
Well, the Chair can take your point of order. I have certainly no objection to you raising a point of order with the Chair, Deputy Dooley.
Deputies, please.
It's not for me to take
Deputy
a point of order, it's for the Chair.
I'd ask you to speak to the Chair.
Okay, I am speaking to the Chair.
Now, finish your contribution.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would say that the State Airports Act, Deputy Dooley is indeed correct.
Please. Deputy Dooley, can I ask you, please, not to interrupt. Thank you very much.
I would say that the State Airports Act was indeed an abomination for Shannon. But it didn't happen in this government's watch. This government has an ambitious plan for Shannon, which has been welcomed by the Mayor of Clare, by the Mayor of Ennis, and it's a plan that I want to see succeed. Because we're not here to talk about the State Airports Act, which happened a very long time ago. We're here to talk about the future. And I look forward to the future with hope in Shannon. And Deputy Dooley, I will be, you mentioned, I will quite happily face the electorate, as will my colleague here, Joe Carey, as will everybody else in these government benches, and be judged on the success of Shannon, and indeed on every other issue on which I vote in this House. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Deputy, please.